So if you keep walking a lot barefoot, you get better at it. So what you want is, you want an active lifestyle, you want to move, and you want to do so consciously. Consciously. Okay. Alright, I have decided to simply keep on going with these recordings because I've been slacking off a little with my yoga practice, and I feel like I need to continue. Yeah, I don't particularly like the light, but for these recordings I will keep it on. So what I would like to go into is mostly working out your personal trauma. And you have to understand that we are actually beings of light, thrown into darkness. Which means that we're all Lucifer, if you don't get this. Because if you judge anyone as the devil, then you're the devil. Because only the devil, right, sees the devil. So I've got the devil in me. You've got the devil in you. Right. And we call these things the demons. The question is, how much creative potential can you channel into actual creation? And how much is being wasted? I'm still wasting because I'm clinging to this is already beyond beginner's level. I haven't done this in a while, so I assume you need to do your planks. If you cannot do this, then you have to do your planks first. Yeah, I just cannot see myself with a woman any longer. My wife then is nature. And I'm just going to accept this. So if a woman would want me to be her husband, then she'd have to propose to me. I am beyond playing Tootsie Footsie. I am beyond accepting childish challenges. I'd say even the woman I said I chose, she'd have to propose to me. Like, she has to. This is simply what I choose now. Because otherwise, I'm going to keep running around, rejecting myself. This is lower back exercises. This is like a reverse plank. You see, I have heard too many women talking about how they want their husband to give them stability. This is false idols, my friend. Man and woman are equals. If a woman wants a specific man, then she has to make sure she gets him. You know, this is not, I'm gonna run after you. Because who are you? Like, am I your daddy? I have no interest in such relationships. And with a man like me, it would never work. And women just don't get that. You know, women want to be treated like some kind of deity. But who am I then? Am I your slave or what? Just there to, get you pregnant and then pay the bills? You fuck off. I'm not gonna do that. And if I do, then it's gonna be different. So this is what you have to figure out for yourself. This kind of movement, right, feels good with my body. I don't know your body. I'm just saying, man, I don't know your body. So I teach by pointing out consequences. If you fail to see the necessity of these exercises, then you probably haven't suffered enough. My suffering became unbearable. And for this specific reason, I have felt the need to start looking for things that work because it became unbearable. I was too suicidal to keep on living, and so I had to stop with the smoking, and I had to stop with the beating myself up because of shame and stuff. This is what they should teach you in school, but not even the teachers know these things. This gets your back rock hard. Oh, this is really nice. But I had to actually get to that point. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just tired of stupid people. Animals are smart, which is why they survive. If you cannot get this, whatever, man. Wow. Just feel into these exercises. Focus on yourself, right? It's very hard when you're filming yourself. I have to get into doing these things by myself, but right at the moment, I'm working off YouTube. This needs a lot of preparation, man. These are not exercises that you should learn by heart. You feel where you want to flow into. Yoga is supposed to be flow. You don't have to learn these ridiculous seriouses because they're not meant to be done every day. Every day is supposed to be different. That's true yoga. These asanas are just for lazy people who cannot figure out who they are and they just copy other people. This is supposed to be your challenge. You're here. You're looking for a way through. This is true yoga. You are the center of your universe. And if there's stuff bothering you, then you have to figure this out. I'm just saying, this is years of figuring out my style. There's days where you go slow. And then there's days where you go fast. Oh, this is so painful. My neck. Holy shit. This is years of neglect. Wow. Ouch. Where did this come from? Somebody pinched me. see how stupid the yoga mattress now is? This needs your warrior mentality. Okay, where I often struggle is the question, how much is too much? Where I often struggle is, defining my own limits. To say, how far am I supposed to push this? Should I stop now and sleep? I mean, I ate 2 bars of chocolate earlier. 400 grams. Because I was so heavy, I could have never done it. I think. So I ate 2 bars of 400 grams of chocolate. Nut chocolate. And then I worked. I made 2 hours of art. And then I felt like, no, I'm gonna do this. I had a feeling I was supposed to do this. But why eat the chocolate? You see, I cannot tell you what you have to eat when. Because you're specific. You're an individual. I had to do certain things before I could get to today's session. there were certain things I had to do before I arrived in my mind at the conclusion that now I should start doing these exercises again. And I haven't done them since several weeks. So I was working off YouTube stuff, I was doing art, and then I realized in my mind, I have to start doing this again. It was a feeling, but I do realize that for me, stuff like voodoo is absolutely real. People are imbalanced, and instead of channeling their energy into something creative, they channel their energy into hating people, manipulating people, gossip. This is voodoo. They imagine you in their minds and they hate you. It's like pinching you with needles of hate, sending you hate, right? Like this. We all channel energy. I simply started taking responsibility where my energy is going into. And it took me years of mental training to sort out my mind from everyone else's mind, because we are all connected. I simply started to realize, and there were times where I was telling even family members, like I'm telling you, like my mother, I was having a conversation with her and I was confronting her with things that I know she's feeling and that she's using as an excuse to manipulate others and send other people hatred and stuff. And I was having a conversation with her and I confronted her with these things. And because I'm smarter than everyone in my family, I just never told them. And she said, "You're smart." Because what I told her was her own bullshit. And this has nothing to do with, this is a hand, this is a carpet. This has to do with purely energy. And this is scary stuff, my friend, but it's happening all the time. We are all, in that sense, creator spirits. We are spirits that can create things. This is different from what we call animals. Why? I don't know, man. It doesn't matter. What matters is that these things are happening, and I have tested this because nobody told me about it, but I realized that we are all beings of light and shadow. If there's a lot of light, then there's a lot of shadow. There is nobody that is just enlightened and super happy. The most enlightened guy has the biggest shadow you'll ever meet. This is Gandalf saying to Bilbo, you know, like, push me a little bit further and you'll see Gandalf the Grey uncloaked. You know, this is like, holy shit. You know, he's gonna fill out the entire room, the entire cathedral with his spirit. Why that is possible, I don't know. I know that I can fill out huge areas with my spirit. Why? I don't know. So can everyone do this? I don't know. All I know is that stuff was happening to me and I had to take responsibility, and here I am figuring it out for myself. I had no say in some of these things, right? I was just funneled into certain places, certain circumstances, and I simply had to do things. And from the moment I was there, I just had to act and then keep going. And some of these things are still creating ripples in my life. And some of these things, they kind of like left. So almost like you were able to work them off. But I had to free myself of so many things where I felt like people were keeping me trapped. And so this was people where you would say, these are my parents. You know, this is not a story. This is not funny. This is actually what I realized about myself. That people that you call parents were manipulating me in my mind to trap me. When I say, well, what's a parent then? So what I have learned about myself is that parents, in the sense that we have been told, do not exist. We're all independent spirits. And I can see spirit in a child, and I can see spirit in a dog, and I can see spirit in plants. But each spirit is different. It's like a seed. And this seed has creative potential. So this seed is like a battery. And what that means is this seed is like a battery, and it can be harvested. And this is what the dark crystal is showing you, but watching the dark crystal is going to harvest your energy. And as long as you watch movies, your spirit is going to be harvested and you're going to be unable to free yourself. So one of the most important steps in my life was getting rid of movies. But I'm still trapped in recording myself because that's just a requirement of modern times to reach as many people as you can. And somehow spreading the message without being ridiculed or labeled as some kind of evil conspiracy guy. Of course they'll say that anyway. Of course they'll also say that I don't do yoga because you cannot make money with what I'm doing. Yes, so we are all beings of mind, and that's all you have to know. I was asking myself my entire life why I could never really do anything. And now I know why. Because other people were blocking me. And that's the truth. But at the same time, I simply had to figure out who was blocking me. And then I had to confront them. And I had to toughen up because people wanted me weak so they could control me. This is like parents and grandparents, feeding their child certain types of food to keep it from becoming too conscious so they can somehow live off the child's energy, because they rather watch movies than do yoga, right? They rather judge everyone than try to quiet down their minds. Why it is so? Well, it is their choice. And this is what I figured out. This is the true reason why people do yoga, because it clears out your entire system. But if your system is cleared out, then you can actually bring peace. But society lives off the method of polarization, and in order to polarize, you need to spread deceit so that you split apart certain groups of people that then live in a state of distrust towards each other. So you create separation, and that kind of creates frustration. And so there's a lot of energy that then doesn't go into the community because you have little faith in the community. And what then happens is that you simply waste that energy into buying useless junk. And I mean, talking about these things is kind of mad, but it simply is the way it is. This is basically the same principle that is being used with the atom bomb. Large amounts of energy are being made available by keeping people in a state of war, which is what the news is for. And this energy is then used to generate money. It's not used to generate money, because money is just paper. It's just a concept. In the end, it's energy to simply create useless stuff. And you can just say it's just a habit that started, people started to create machines, and now, it's becoming habitual to use machines because we have prided ourselves that machines, that we create machines so we feel like gods. But God is just a word, because now we became orcs. And I feel like I'm still just at the beginning of this journey. And that's what's a little bit intimidating, because I've gone so far, and yet I barely started. So what's to come, I have no idea what tomorrow is gonna be like. think that's all I had to say for today. Cheers.